Hey everybody, my name is Lynn. Welcome to A Bit of Birdsong. I have a journal that's available. It is called A Study of Blue. And you can tell there's just a lot of blue elements, a lot of fabrics, the buttons down the front, this beautiful ribbon that ties everything together. And let me just show you the cover, if I can get this open. So it is made with a file folder that is then covered in layers of fabric. And the pages are bound in with a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. The cord is hemp cord. I love using that. And you can just see there are a number of glass beads and then a little metal key there. So a lot of different fabrics that I used. And on the front there is, this was a pin, like a lady's pin, and then the clasp on the back was broken. So I purchased that in just some junk jewelry. One of the little stones is missing, but I think it is so pretty. And I just sewed that into place on the front of the journal. Of course, there's a little card there that says A Study in Blue. So let's just go through this and take a look at what's in here. There is a pocket in the front with a few different things, a card. There's a little tag that I made, and just a piece of it was almost like a print, but it had been folded and it was pretty tattered around the edge. The paper's kind of heavy, but you can see there's just the hint of blue in some of these, the flowers and the ballet dresses or costumes. There's a piece of fabric here that is stitched into place, and there's a really neat pendant hanging here. I will try to give you a close-up of that so you can see the way that's made. It's just attached to this fabric with a safety pin. And then just a lot of beautiful paper. There are some distressed images that I printed out, different stamps. There's a pocket here with another printed image. And there is another little tag made from that same ballet print. And the blue dress, just a piece of paper. I've glued a few things in here. This turned out amazing. So this envelope, it was kind of like a scrap piece of paper to the side. And what I was doing with this was laying stamps down to use my glue stick so that I didn't get glue on the tablecloth. The tablecloth is stained enough, but I really don't want glue on it. So after I was completely done with this, I had a brush that was full of blue paint, and of course all the stamps had already been used, so I painted over that, and everywhere there had been glue, the paint did not take. So I dried it with the dryer, and while it was drying, I rubbed off all the rest of the glue. So now it's no longer sticky, but we've got this beautiful, sort of just a faint ghost image of some stamps. I think it's so amazing. And that's something you can just keep things in. There's a butterfly and a map circle. And then this is an old magazine page with the beautiful Christy Brinkley. So that's from a vintage, like from maybe the 70s or the 80s. Probably that, well, I don't know. That might have been late 70s. It's the 70s now that I think about it. So there's just a lot of masking tape on the back of that to keep that page sturdy. And there is some paint, and that's dry. There is a pretty little embossed piece of paper that's got some blue ink on it and just some little spots of alcohol ink. There's a beautiful piece of wallpaper, and then glued onto that is a tiny little piece of an old calendar. You can see the man in the blue outfit and part of a horse, and I just put some tickets in there. That was a page that was torn. It was from a large art book. And then here is a very large envelope put in. There are a few more tickets in there. I stamped the word envelope. There's a stamp, and I thought this was really neat. So this fabric, I wonder if okay. So there's another piece of this fabric in the back of the book, and I'll show you when we get there. But somebody had written on the bottom of this, seeing death as the end of life is like seeing the horizon on the end of the ocean, or as the end of the ocean. I thought that was really pretty. I just stitched it to that card and put it in here for you. And there's a large book page, just a little tab. I didn't say tag that time. I'm so bad about that. And here is part of an old calendar page. And of course, this is the page that I was working on to get that really pretty stamp silhouette from where I was using the glue. And there's a book page. and part of a magazine page. I love all that blue. And of course you can glue something over this side if you'd like to. More paper, places for you to work. This beautiful scrapbook paper. There is another faded image that I printed out. And there are a few butterflies in here, the butterfly die cuts that are just paper clipped in with some blue colored paper clips. And that's pretty. There's another butterfly, another large book page. There's a sample from a wallpaper book. It's got a piece of coordinating fabric on it, and then just another page for you to work on. I love doing this. Not too long ago, this idea came to me. Somebody might have already done it. I haven't seen it. I think there's nothing new under the sun. But anyway, I put a bead on this ribbon and then just stitched across the top so that it can be used like a placeholder. And I think that's really pretty. And I did it a little bit to the side so that it's not, you know, wrinkling the pages right in the middle, if that makes sense. So we'll turn that, and then there is the center of the book. I can loosen that up a little bit. And just an image there, kind of an odd image actually. And more wallpaper. And there's just a stencil with some paint. I love the texture. And some distressing. The wallpaper. There is a beautiful postcard from Cavallini Papers, and a pretty pocket there with some trim along the edge. And more of that blue. This is one of the little pieces of paper that I made, and it's pretty thick. I just put it under this belly band. There's a little paper clip shaped like a guitar. And just more distressed paper. This is fun. So I have one of those little things that you turn to make your own corrugated paper. So you just feed your paper in and clamp the handle, and then when you turn, you just get the most fun result. It's a piece of corrugated paper, and that's a lot of fun to work with. So you know what? Let's just stick this right in here. So that's corrugated, and it's just glued to the edge of the page. There's a little piece of fabric paper clipped into place, and the other part of that envelope, and there's a card. It's got some letters stenciled on the outside, and just part of that poster with the ballerina, and just distressed. Maybe you can write in that. Piece of fabric and another butterfly just paper clipped into place. And there's the other part of the art page. Another beautiful postcard. Very pretty. And there's some wallpaper. That's just folded over to make a little pocket. And I put some masking tape along the edge because it was torn just a little bit. And there's a page from a book that's got a blue rose stamped on it. And some more of the corrugated paper. And this, so that's the other part of the magazine page with Christy Brinkley. I did not do anything to the back of this. I didn't want to put that much masking tape in. You can leave it like it is or paint that to give it some, you know, some sturdiness. I did put one piece of washi tape where it was torn. There's another little tear up here. So I'm gonna, it's a very small, but I'm gonna leave that for you to decide what you want to do with that. This is some really nice heavy paper. I'm not even sure where I got that. And there's another piece, another distressed image. We're getting to the back here. And then this is a bag. It says Passport Habits. I don't remember where I got that at all. But this is another part of that poster with the ballet dress. And that's just standing in there. This is just pinned to the edge. There is that beautiful fabric that had the message someone wrote, and it was already cut so that there weren't any whole dragonflies on it. So I just stitched that to the edge, and you've got a pocket here. And this is the night sky in March and the night sky in April. And then here is another piece of the paper that I made, and it's stained around the edge. And I left a few strings. You can cut those if you want to. There's my stamp on the back. So this one is available, and thank you so very much for watching, and for being here. I truly appreciate it. I appreciate all your support so very much. And I will be back really soon to work on some map packs. Okay, bye for now.